it's Elaine and welcome to another podcast. It's a request and this time it is talking about a suitable skincare routine for maturer skins. And to be honest with you, mature skin can be, and this is a bit depressing, really from about 30 onwards, you do start to see your issues relating to the maturity of your skin. So from about 25, 30 onwards, you will start to see some very fine lines. You might start to see some very subtle effects of sun damage. You might start to see very subtle breakdown of collagen and elastin, and again, depending on genetics and lifestyle, you might also start to see just a bit of the skin tone going, maybe a little bit of the texture. The muscle can start to lose its tone ever so slightly. But again, as we always say, don't take it too seriously. Enjoy your life, enjoy your skin, look after it, make sure you have a healthy lifestyle. And just think about the products that you use and just pick wisely to get the best results out of them without overthinking it and getting too hung up on it. Now, I'm going to keep it really simple today. I always say to you that if you want to go really in depth and if you really want to go into the finite detail of the ingredients and the cocktailing of different products to get the ultimate results for you, then you'll know the channels to go to where they really do specify in depth in the specific ingredients. They really run through the different products from the different brands, and you can decide for yourself exactly the potencies and the different variations of each product that you want to use. But today's more about a taster and an introduction into the different products that you could think about using if you're looking for a starter routine for maturer skin. Okay, so first of all, with mature skin, like every skin type, you want to take a look in the mirror, do a little skin analysis, and see exactly where your problematic areas are. Now, you can pinch the skin, you can push the skin upwards, and what you're really looking for is to see if you've got hydration, to see if you're dehydrated, if you need to increase your water consumption, which, let's be honest, for most of us we do. There's very few of us that take enough fluid in every day. And you want to look at the muscle tone, how quickly the skin springs back. When you're pushing the skin, just think about looking at the cheeks. Just very gently push the skin up in the cheeks. Does it crinkle and wrinkle? When you release the skin, does it spring back, or is it a very slow, gentle movement back to where it was? Is your skin quite loose? Does it look as if you can definitely see yourself that the muscle tone isn't quite there anymore? Because there are different things that you can do. There are at-home devices that you can use. There are salon treatments that you can go for. And if you really wanted, you could go down the more invasive route. The choice is always yours. But again, if you push the skin in and release, does it spring back? What's the colour like on the skin? Do you have an even colour all over? Or are there areas of redness? Is there dullness? Do you have dry flakiness in patches? Do you have any areas that you can tell are very dull in comparison to others? Do you have areas of high redness, which is maybe some broken capillaries? Or do you think there's irritation there? When you push the skin in and release, does the colour come back straight away, or is it a very slow movement to get the colour back in the skin? These are all things that you can be looking at just to take care of your basic skin analysis. And what I would say is, if you do want to take it seriously, again, you can either go to a salon and have a proper skin analysis by a professional, or you can look at one of the channels. If you type into YouTube skin analysis or introduction to how to do a skin analysis, then you can see for yourself the basics of how to do it. But what you're really looking at is, what are my key areas that I want to work on? Do I have sagging areas? Do I know that I've got areas that really need to be worked on specifically for dryness or oiliness or congestion? So that's what you're looking at in your analysis. Okay, so first thing you want to think about, when you're cleaning the skin is what type of cleanser are you looking for. So with a mature skin, not for everyone, but normally you would be looking for something that might be on the smoother, creamier side. But again, that doesn't go for everyone. So with your cleanser, you want something that is going to effectively remove any dirt, grime, grease, old makeup that's on the skin, give it a nice clean, and as you'll see on the YouTube channel, I've got a lot of cleansing routines. You want to use different manoeuvres and movements with your hands, with your fingers. Even if you want to take it more seriously, you can use the knuckles just to work on the neck, down the décolleté. Really make sure that you cover that area from the hairline down the chest area, just to make sure that you're really looking after that skin on that face and neck area. Sometimes with mature skin, the giveaway can be that someone's really looked after the face, but the neck is visibly suffering. The neck hasn't had the same treatment. It's a cliche because it's true. Sometimes the neck and the hands are the giveaway. And while I always say each to their own and you do what you want to do for yourself, I don't think it can be pleasant to get the more invasive treatments to try and counteract the signs of ageing once they're already there. There are some cosmetic procedures you can get on the hands, and again, I've never had one and I don't know anyone that has, but some of them look quite harsh, and to have something injected in or to have quite a harsh treatment on the hands when it's quite a delicate area of thin skin anyway, it doesn't appeal to me. So whilst genetics play a part and what you do in your lifestyle and your job also plays a part, I would really want to do everything I can to prevent. And I've always wondered if it is a mixture of genetics with me, but also the fact that I'm using a lot of products on clients. I'm doing a lot of massage where I'm using oils. I wonder if that's why I get compliments on my hands and that I don't have particularly dry, wrinkled hands. Sometimes the giveaway can be that your fingers actually start to wrinkle before the main part of the hand. And sometimes in the bend of the wrist, it can start to have quite deep wrinkles. And I sometimes wonder if it's because I am doing facials, I am using products quite frequently, especially massages, if maybe the use of the oils over the past almost 20 years has done something. But again, the only way I could know that for certain is if I could split myself in two and go back and then live a life where I didn't do any of that, and then you could have the actual comparison. But because we can't do that, I just have to wonder if that's why my hands are aging quite well for me. But again, I would say that when you're doing your facial routine for your mature skin, why don't you think about looking after your hands in the same way? So when you're doing a nice little treatment on your face, why don't you think about doing a treatment on your hands too? And then that's just something that you can tie in, and that'll really help you to stave off the unnecessary signs of ageing. But again, I'm definitely not on board with the wiping out ageing and the freezing of everything. That's completely fine if you want to do that. I just always think that if you freeze something, then there's going to be another muscle that will kick in that probably wouldn't have, because it's stepping up where it maybe didn't need to before. So just my personal preference is do what you want to do, but just please don't try and freeze your face or freeze an area, because I think something probably has to give somewhere else in order to counteract what can no longer do its job. But with your cleansers, you want to think about a suitable product that is going to really cleanse the skin for you. Again, just because I'm saying a creamier cleanser does not mean that it has to be oily, because as your skin matures, you might still have a more oily skin. So you don't want an oily cleanser. You can still go for something that has quite a creamy texture but is water-based. Or you can go for something that is more within the face wash zone, but it doesn't necessarily have to be something that foams up and then feels quite drying. But look for a cleanser where you can do a double cleanse. So one to initially remove all the makeup, all the surface dirt, all the things that just settle on your skin during the day. And then once you've removed that, your second cleanse to really get in there, start your massage movements and really get that product working for you. Now, toners we don't really need toners in the way that we used to, but they definitely have their place in the sense that we're using a lot of retinols and we're using different products now that are very subtly exfoliating the skin. So what I would say is, if you do want to use some sort of what we would call a toner, then think about using one that is very gently going to exfoliate the skin. Now, what you might want to do is use a really gentle tonic, and you might want to choose something that you don't use every day. For instance, I use a product Monday to Friday in the evening, just sweep it over the skin, but then at the weekend I change my routine so I don't use it 7 days a week. And what you'll find is when you use something that's got a retinoid in it, and it really is a very gentle, obviously again, I'm saying gentle, but if you're really, really into your skincare and you know the percentages that you want to use, then you can really create the system that suits you. But if you want to target anti-aging and you want to think about having a mature skin that looks great for its age, then retinoids, then they help to reduce the appearance of your fine lines and wrinkles. The good thing about these products is that they shouldn't feel uncomfortable on the skin. Sometimes if you've got any little spots or breakouts, there can be a little sting there. So I would say avoid if you've got any areas of irritation or any breakouts. Likewise, if you've not used them before, then do your research and pick something that's quite light and subtle to begin with, and be prepared that it might be a tingling sensation. It might feel a little bit unusual. It might be something you're not used to. You might even want to think about using it alternate days just to get used to it. But the good thing is that these are going to help to reduce the appearance, overall help to improve the look of the skin, even out the tone, and also just help to increase the production of collagen the more that you use them. But again, I wouldn't take one of these products and start using it if you don't really know how your skin is and what it needs and how it reacts. And if you've got sensitive skin anyway, proceed with care. Maybe get a little tester product just to see. But if you get into a little routine, then the appearance of the skin, as quick as a couple of weeks in, can definitely start to look smoother. Serums are great ways to get targeted products into the skin. And the great thing about serums are they're light, they soak in quite quickly, they tend to not irritate a skin if it is quite sensitive to begin with. And if you're not very good with oils, then serums can be perfect, because sometimes the oil can cause congestion, even with the best of intentions, even if it's a lighter oil. Applying a serum can be a great way to really get those key ingredients to absorb into the skin and absorb quickly and efficiently. And because serums tend to sink in quite quickly, if you're using them in the morning before you apply your makeup, it really isn't an issue, because you don't have to wait for that time for something to really sink in before you can apply foundation. Serums, oils and moisturisers are great ways to get targeted products into the skin to see a difference if you've got maturity and you can see those fine lines and wrinkles. Serums are excellent if you don't like the feeling of facial oils, or even the lightest of oils tends to break you out. So serums are great again because they tend to sink in very quickly. They've got the targeted ingredients that just get straight to work. And if you're applying them in the morning, they dry quite quickly, they sink in quite efficiently, and then you can just get on with putting your makeup on. With facial oils, they do take a little bit longer to sink in. You can get lots of different styles of facial oil. You can get the lighter ones for the mornings. You can get the richer, more targeted ones they tend to be more viscous, and they require more of a massage routine in the evenings. But the evening facial oils can be very indulgent and very luxurious, so you can use those too. Or again, you've always got the choice of so many different moisturisers on the market. And again, just because they might be targeted at anti-aging doesn't mean they'll be filled with perfumes, doesn't mean they need to be very rich and oily. You can still get very effective moisturisers that are water-based or very light, and they don't clog up the skin and they don't smell very heavy, very perfumed. So you can pick what you feel is right for you, and you can mix and match your products. So you could do the serum in the morning, and you could do the moisturiser or facial oil in the evening. What I tend to do is I like a facial oil, but I don't actually apply it to my face, I apply it to my neck. I don't feel that you always need a separate neck product, because if a product's effective, I feel that you can take it from the face down. But I don't really like how oils feel on my face, so I'll tend to use the serums and the moisturisers on the face. And then in the evening, save the facial oil for the neck and do quite a nice, gentle, slow neck massage. Because remember, if you can take the time to massage that product in and do your massage movements, then not only are you helping the product to sink into the skin to get maximum results, but the massage itself is also very relaxing, very beneficial, and it also helps to improve the signs of aging, because you're helping to boost the circulation and you're helping to tone the skin. So if you can, always try and apply your products with some facial massage moves too, because you'll get double the benefits. I think one of the most important things you can do in a skincare routine for mature skin is think about your eye cream. The eyes are one of the first areas that start to show the signs of aging. It's the thinnest skin in the body. It's as thin as an eggshell. We tend, when we're younger, to be a little bit heavy-handed with it, so you can rub your eyes. You can be a little bit rough with when you're taking your makeup off, and you can be rubbing backwards and forwards. We need to treat that skin very gently. It's also the first to sag, so even if you have got quite wide eyes and you've got a really visible mobile lid, as we get older, just naturally, we can't help it, it's the ageing process, it just starts to droop ever so slightly. So the skin that's between the eye and the eyebrow and the visible lid can start to just very gently sag, and in some people it's more visible than others. For some of us, we get puffiness under the eyes, we might get more darker, or it might just start to look as if there's more congestion there. It can build fluid and you can end up with quite tired looking eyes. So if you can do something and invest in the eye area first, then you've got the best chance of looking amazing for your age. So think about a suitable eye product. Think about a product that, again, without claiming that it'll work miracles, because these products can only do so much, but when you factor in with a healthy lifestyle and doing your facial toning and looking after yourself, then the product can work with you to get the best possible results. But think about, again, the right cream or the right serum or a gel texture. You can mix and match. You can use something different in the morning to the evening. There's a lot of different facial yoga moves that you can use that help to tone the muscles in that area. But really think about investing, not necessarily a lot of money, but time in applying your product to the eye area morning and evening to get the best possible results. It's really important when your skin's aging to think about giving it maybe once or twice a week an intensive treatment, a mask, a repair mask, a nourishing mask, an exfoliating mask, a peel, a very gentle peel. And there are so many excellent products on the market that you don't always have to stick to the same one. What I tend to do is have maybe a collection of 2 or 3 brands where I know that there's a product that consistently works to get good results, and then maybe work them on a timetable. So maybe one week it'll be the peel, one week it might be the nourishing repair mask, one week it might be the clay mask, and you're mixing them round in your routine so that your skin never gets used to them, but you're also using them maybe at different times in the month when you know that your skin requires different things. And again, take those masks down to the base of the neck and really make sure that you get the best out of them. Don't leave that neck out. With some masks as well, it would do you no harm just to pop some onto the hands too, or buy an individual hand mask if you wanted to buy something specific, and just make sure that when you're relaxing and indulging in a facial treatment, you can be doing the same with your hands. But if you do it once a week, possibly twice a week, then just having that additional treatment for the skin is really going to help to boost it and have it looking as hydrated and healthy as possible. what's also really good for just looking after key areas that do tend to suffer as we get older, and there's nothing we can do about it, it's just nature, is to put on maybe some collagen patches, some extra hydration patches. And there's so many choices out there now to maybe get the moisture masks for the full face, but in addition to that, get the collagen masks for the eyes, the sides of the mouth where you get the marionette lines. The nasolabial folds can also, that's the same area that they can really start to sag when the muscle tone goes, and sometimes it can age your face. Again, everyone's different. Some people have the very noticeable lines from the nose to the mouth, but it just suits their face and they look great. But other people, if it's a mixture with skin tone and skin texture, it can look more aging. Just everyone's different. But if that's an area that you want to work on, then maybe just getting some collagen patches. And again, maybe once a month, twice a month. You don't need to do them too often, but that could be a great little treat. Again, it could be maybe just once or twice a month when you're in the bath, just relaxing, pop on your collagen patches and let them do their stuff. It's just another great little addition to an anti-aging skincare routine. And my final tip for really investing in having the best looking skin for your age as we get older is to invest either in going to a salon to have some sort of muscle stimulating treatment, or to invest in a piece of kit yourself. The best thing about the muscle stimulating treatments are, even if you invest in a piece of kit for the house, they're not hugely expensive. You could go up into a couple of £100, but you can also get them under £100, and they don't date. So the technology is the same. The handheld tool might change, the way that you use it might change, but the technology itself doesn't change. What you're really doing is you're using very low currents to stimulate the muscle to contract it and relax it. And there's quite a few different models on the market, lots of different brands, but I've got a few that I like to use quite often. One's easily over 10 years old now, and one's I only got last year, but they both do similar things. They cross over, but then they've got their own individual areas. So one really is like a Faradic toning machine. So it's contracting the muscle, and you can turn the dial right up to maximum and really contract that muscle, and it just contracts and relaxes, and it alternates for a maximum of 9 minutes. But in those 9 minutes, you can move around the face. So you can contract and relax the muscles around the eye, the orbit of the eye. You can contract and relax the muscles around the mouth. You can really work over the full face and contract and relax those muscles. And if you do that every day, or you get into a routine, maybe it's 2 or 3 times a week, then if you think about it, that is the gym workout for your face. So it's a great investment. But again, they work because they're toning the muscles. But then if you don't use them, it's a bit like giving up going to the gym. Your results start to fade. So you invest in the machine, but you make a promise to yourself that you're going to invest in the time. So you can decide to do that. And I would say, coming from a background where I use the kit within the salon, I think they're great to invest in because it really doesn't take a lot of time. And if you incorporate it into your routine, you can just make it as much of a commitment as when you know you've got to brush your teeth every day. The newer piece of kit that I've got also uses some microcurrent too, and it uses galvanic, and it's slightly different. The original piece of kit that's more Faradic, all you have to do is wet the product so that you can make sure, well, you wet the probes because the water is the transmitter of the current, but with the handheld tool, which is also galvanic, microcurrent and Faradic, all you have to do is make sure that the product you're using on the face has water content, and if it's got water content, then the product will work, the tool will work. So they're both very simple to use. They don't hurt, there's no discomfort, but what they're both doing is helping to tone those muscles, because if you do nothing to your facial muscles, you don't do any facial yoga, you don't do any massage, you don't apply your products in any form of massage manipulation, and you don't use any tools, then obviously those muscles are not having any workout. So it's about thinking from start to finish about what it is that you're looking to achieve with a mature skincare routine. So, as I always say, don't get hung up on it. Don't become obsessed with every line and wrinkle. Life really is for living. What we really just want to do is look the best we can for every year that we age. And it's about looking healthy, it's about looking well. And if a problem develops, it's about targeting that problem. But overall, enjoy your skin, enjoy your skincare routine, and have fun trying out different products. And as always, I hope you enjoyed that podcast. If you've got any comments or any suggestions, please let me know. And I'll see you again soon.